Okay. Josh is here. He just walked in. But anyways. Hi, my loves. So today I'm going to talk about my 10 before the end. So it's 10 books I want to read before the end of the year. I know the burps. We're currently in our one cold spell ever for the entire year of Florida. So this is my 10 before the end, which is 10 books I want to read before the end of the year, the end of 2025. So yeah, I've got some books that I actually have the physical copies for. And then I have some books that I do not have the physical copies for, but I have a list on my laptop. So yeah, here are the books I have the physical copies for. And I think they're all in order on how I have them on my list. So that's gonna be great. And then the books I don't have the physical books for, I want to get the physical books and I'm hoping to get them either for Christmas or just buy them for myself because I'm a big girl and I like buying myself books. But yeah, so I will put them here and hopefully we'll get through all these. I am doing a 24-hour readathon for my eyeballs itchy, for my 12 days of Bookmas. So you might see some of these in that. So yeah, that's all I got. So let's talk about some of my books. First, the first book I want to read before the end of 2025 is Bratva Prince. The Bratva Prince, which is the second book in the Bratva series by T.J. Maguire. I'm gonna put her name on the screen too. And I read the first one. The first one was 5 stars. I loved it so much. And it's about a whole family of mob bosses. So I'm really excited to read the rest of the series. I read the first one and I listened to the audiobook of the first one and I was like, yes. And the audiobook for the second one wasn't out yet and I was in a reading slump by that point. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna read it right now, and I haven't read it yet. So that's the first one. I have it downloaded on my Kindle, but that's as far as I've gotten. Also, right now, y'all, I am so all over the place. Right now, y'all, I'm listening and reading Caught Up by Liz Tomford. I'm reading that because I read Mile High and The Right Move, and both of those I loved. So I've been kind of reading the books just because I'm like, oh my god, I love this, like this is so fun. So, and I love the characters in each book. They introduce the new couple and I'm like, are the new male, and I'm like, at least. So I needed to read Kai's book, and I love kids in books, and Kai has a son, so I was like, I need to read this. This is on right? Yeah, it is. So yeah, so I'm currently reading Caught Up, but I'm like halfway done with that. So I will probably start reading my TBR for November soon, which I did post last week. And my video next week, I think, is going to be a reading my TBR vlog. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, first book, Bratva Prince. It's mafia, Russian mafia. I've heard all the girls are badasses. The girl in the first book's a badass, so you know, we heavily fuck with that. So yeah, that's all I really have, but I'm really excited and it sounds really fun. So my second book is Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. I just finished her Chestnut Spring series and I own the first of her Rose Hill series. The first book, it's right there, but I want to read her Gold Rush Ranch series first. I want to read, because I read Chestnut Springs, I want to read Gold Rush Ranch, and then I want to read Rose Hill, and then I want to read Emerald Lake as that comes out. I'm loving her writing, so that's there because I want to read that series. You know, cowboys, I think they're Racehorse Farm, but that's all I really know about that series. Like, I knew a lot about the Chestnut Springs, and I know a little bit more about the Rose Hill series, but I don't know as much about her first series. So yeah. The third book I want to read is Throttled by by Lauren Asher. This was part of my July TBR that Josh picked out for me, and I really should have made a vlog reading his TBR that he picked out for me, but Throttled. I loved the Dreamland Billionaire series, so I've got her first series here that I want to read, and I'm going to read this. I have this one, and I have Collided, which is the second book, and I want to read all of them. So this one makes me really sad because like one of the first pages has a rip in it, and it makes me really sad, but I'm not gonna go buy another book, so it's just kind of like I'm gonna be sad, but want to read this. It's F1 drivers. I love F1 drivers. Josh loves F1 drivers, so I can talk to him about this book and he can understand because they're F1 drivers. So yeah, y'all, I look like a mess. Can y'all tell I haven't gotten good sleep in the last couple weeks? But yeah, Throttled, Lauren Asher, F1 drivers. F1 drivers. And Lauren Asher is slowly, even though I've only like read one of her series, but like if I had money, I would buy all of her books. So y'all do that math. So yeah, Throttled by Lauren Asher. My fourth book that I want to read is The Chase by Elle Kennedy. Ooh, there's stickers on the back of these. Give me a second, y'all. This is gonna make me so uncomfortable, but because I hate the way stickers feel on my nails, but also I don't like having stickers on the backs of my books, so it's gonna go great. I've wanted The Chase by Elle Kennedy. I have the whole Briar U series, but I haven't read it. I loved the off-campus series. It made me so happy. I loved it so much. All of those things. And I've been wanting to start this series. I just can't bring myself to do it. But also, I've wanted Colin Fitzgerald Fitzy's book since the beginning. Like, they described his character. The first point that I can remember how they described this character was in The Mistake. And if I wasn't hooked on this man from The Mistake, y'all, like, I love this man. And he dates Dean's sister. Y'all. So, I haven't heard much about this series. It's hockey. It's cute. The fourth book is a plus-sized girl. So we love that. But yeah, I haven't really heard much. I heard less about this one than I have the off-campus series, and then I've heard more about the Campus Diaries, which is the second gen books of this series. So, well, not this series, that series. But I think there's some of the series characters in there too. So all my books are like not pushed forward. Have you all seen that thing where your books can get mold if your books aren't pushed forward, if they're like up against the thing? I'm really anxious about that. So I have all my books pushed forward. But yeah, Briar U, and all of these books, their covers connect to make a full hockey rink, and it's so cool. That's just me being a nerd, and I have the blue sprayed edges ones of, I think, this whole series. But my off-campus ones are not, so I'm like, but I have one of the pretty books of that series, and Josh told me he might get me that whole series in the like collector's edition. So if I can get the whole collector's editions of those, I don't know if I'm gonna keep these, but we'll see. But also, I kind of want to keep these covers because when the show comes out, they're gonna make covers with the characters on them, or with the actors on them, and I don't really want covers with the actors on them because I'm not, like, I'm sure the cast is gonna do great. I'm sure it's gonna be great and all that stuff, but like some of the casting, I'm not sure that's how they looked in my brain, but that's how most books go. So, but yeah, really excited. I want to read this book. So, y'all don't come for me, by the way. I just have opinions. But yeah, and I never got the ones with the original covers where it's the girls in their like underwear, because those ones always made me really uncomfortable, and like now I'm like, I really wish I had those because I really like them now, but I also really like these like cartoony ones. So I don't know how I feel, but I also always know how I feel. So the fifth book, we're halfway done and I've talked for 10 minutes, so I love rambling. The fifth book I have is Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. I've heard so many good things. This is her debut novel. Yet she has like 4 or 5 more out now. but 4, I think. This was her debut novel. But I've heard so many good things about this one in particular, and then apparently the rest of the series goes downhill. It's a dark romance, serial killer, rom-com kind of thing. I have all 3 of the books. I have the special edition of Scythe and Sparrow, because Scythe and Sparrow came out close to my birthday, and I got this series on my birthday. I was like, Mom, I want to go to Barnes & Noble for my birthday, and we went to Barnes & Noble, and I was like, I want these, and she bought them for me. So, but I have Barnes & Noble special edition of Scythe and Sparrow, so. But anyways, so yeah, I'm really excited. I've wanted to read these for a while, but I've been trying to work up my tolerance to dark romance because I'm squeamish, like very squeamish. But I've read Caught Up. I've read Lights Out. I want to read Caught Up, but even though I've heard it's not as good as Lights Out. And I've read The Bride. So I will say, it's not on this list, but I thought about putting it on this list. I wanted to read, you can't even see it, God of Malice, but I didn't, because I will probably read that on my own time anyway, and if I'm going to read God of Malice, I would like to have the rest of the series with me, just in case I get obsessed with the Legacy of Gods. So yeah, like, I've heard Rena Kent is one of those authors for some people, where they read the first book and they're like, I have to read the rest, and I don't know if I have the time or attention span to do that right now. So I'm trying to do books and series that I know I either have fully, or I can get on KU, or any of those things. So, but Butcher and Blackbird, I have the whole series. Next we have I have The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. It's so funny because I'm looking at this list, and like the last 2 books, I don't know the names of the authors. I just know that I like the vibes of the books and I want to read them. So I'm gonna put them up on the screen, and I'm gonna put their names like in the bottom, but like I've been saying all the authors for all the other books. I don't know the name of these authors, and that's really bad because I want to read these books. But I have The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I have 2 Kristen Hanna books. I have this one, and I have Firefly Lane. I want to read this one because it's about World War II Germany, I think. And yeah, I've explained my infatuation with this book so many times, and I still have never read it, so I want to read it. It's number 6 on my list, so yeah. I don't know anything other than it's supposedly going to make me cry hardcore. Crying hardcore is great. We love crying hardcore, so let's cry hardcore together. And yes, I know I'm probably one of the last people on the planet Earth to read this book. That is okay. I'm hoping I will enjoy it. So, The Nightingale. Next, I have, y'all, I'm going through these last books really fast, y'all. I don't know how I feel about books. That sounds really weird. That sounds like I'm about to quit reading. So, next, I have Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I've heard good and bad things about this, but I need some fantasy on here because most of it's romance, and I love romance with all my heart, but I'm going to get burnt out. So, Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I've heard good things, but then I've also heard that the writing isn't the best thing they've ever read, which I'm not always looking for the best thing I've ever read when I'm reading. So, it's cool. I've heard the magic's really cool. I don't know what else I've heard. But the series is complete. I don't own them all, and I don't know that they're on KU, but I'm also very slow fantasy reader, so there's a good chance I will finish this book and then have money to read the second book or read the novella or whatever the fuck. So, that's all I really have. It's about it's a romantasy, I know that much. And yeah, I think that's all I know. Josh, what do you know about this book? Nothing. So yeah, Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I say Powerless and I think of Elsie Silver, which is right there, but that's not it. Those are 2 different books, y'all. Okay. 8th on my list, I have Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. I'm currently, and by currently I mean it is the biggest on and off reading I ever do, ever. But I'm like that with all of the... I'm missing a tab. Oh no. I do that with all of the Hunger Games books, but I'm currently on and off reading Catching Fire, and I would love to finish that and read Mockingjay so I can have the original trilogy. The original trilogy like Star Wars, Veronica. Good job. The original trilogy of Hunger Games done with, so in 2026 I can read the 2 prequel novels. That is what I was trying to say. Plus I'm annotating these to give to Josh because Josh likes these books, so you know. But yeah, I have them all hardcover. They're really cute, but I want to read this one. Plus it's blue, and blue's my favorite color, in case y'all didn't know. If y'all wanna be my best friend, get me something blue. I like the color blue a lot. So yeah. And then lastly, more books that go right there. I have The Curse of the Wolf King, which is I believe the way... He's so fucking loud. I believe the way it's described, it's a fantasy fairy retelling of Beauty and the Beast, which sounds really fucking cool. So, Curse of the Wolf King by, I don't know her name, I'll put it here. And then 10th, I have Breaking Point by, also I don't know her name, I'll put it right here. But that is a hockey romance. I believe it's fake dating. And it looked like, from what I could see on TikTok, because I got this one from TikTok, it looked like the female main character was an artist, and I'm an artist, so I was like, I need to read that. So, that's what I got. So I think that's my plan. Those are my 10 before the end. And I want to... I'm losing my marbles. I want to do a reading vlog of reading my TBR next week. So look out for that. That should be fun. And I will hopefully get these done. And yeah, I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys enjoy everything. And I don't know what else I got. I don't know what else I got. Josh, what else do I got? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. And please let me know your 10 before the end if you have any. You don't even have to have 10, you can have 5. Truthfully, I'm probably not going to read all these, but that's okay. So yeah, I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys had fun listening to me yap, because I yapped a lot. Enough so that my boyfriend finished his shower. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love y'all, and I hope to see you guys next week.